What do we say? Once again, welcome. What's involved it is. What is today? I always get myself confused. Look up at computer. It's the 12th, so it's a Wednesday. Wednesday it is. Now, I went into hospital and I posted the big Facebook post about all the things that were going to be happening to me whilst I was in hospital. One of the things was that there was this sort of mix-up with my polygam, and one of the earlier things that happened was I thought there were 6 treatments within a period, and there were only 5. And then we suddenly got a letter from them saying no further authorization for polygam, which is the thing that it kind of helps me. So there was a big panic and a scramble for that. Eventually, we got it approved, and it's now every 4 weeks. However, things were getting quite bad, which is why I haven't managed to record for a bit. And I was feeling like the proverbial bucket of squished snails and not really wanting or able to do anything. Unless you've got something like this, it's very hard to describe. I keep saying to Leona and the gang, it kind of feels like I'm just dying slowly. It's like everything just doesn't want to work. It's horrible. Anyway, Friday, I went, and there was the usual hospital fun. And you can't go into hospital and not have hospital fun. So I ended up in a room with, it was in another ward, not the oncology ward. I think it was a surgical ward with 3 other gentlemen who'd had surgeries. And they spent a lot of time talking about religion and about their takes on religion and what sort of, they had like a verse for everything that happened and why, because of this happened, and why, because they'd been bad people. The one now had to have a growth removed from his liver. And it did get me thinking. And one of the thoughts was, if this is true that you get punished for that, number one, I should have been dead a long time ago. But number 2, why have this malicious being that wants to punish you? So I didn't necessarily agree with their discussions, so I didn't really join in, because my views are slightly different. I don't see the universe, call it what you will, as this vengeful entity. Anyway, so during the day, and you may have noticed the long sleeves, winter's here. We went from summer to winter. I went in for an MRI. I went in for a CT scan. And I went in for what is the other thing called? See, the brain's still not back together again. Ultrasound to see if they could find out what else was wrong. And then they also took, I think I counted, it's probably about 15 vials of blood. I'm sure they got a side hustle supplying vampires or something. But anyway, so all of that was done, and that took a lot of time. And to mess with my OCD again, instead of going on a Thursday, like I like to do, I went in on a Friday. So that's why I had to check earlier what day it was, because I had no clue, still have no clue. Anyway, all of that was done, and my neurologist was very kind. I don't know if it was because I was just a bit shouty or what, but she actually, unless there's an emergency, doesn't work weekends. She came in on Saturday to see me and to say that, there are 1 or 2 areas of concern, but for the most part, things are looking good. The irony is my heart's fantastic. My lungs are, for the most part, fantastic. I have on the MRI, there's some white spots on my brain, which she said could be caused by the CIDP, old age, or diabetes. So there we go. Effectively, I have plaque on my brain. So I'm going to have to do some mental flossing, I reckon. Anyway, so that's enough of that. Got home on Saturday, still felt okay because I was pumped full of all the medication, and they give you something called perfalgan, which just helps, and something for nausea. So I thought, okay, I'm doing okay, but I expected Sunday to be bad because the second day is generally bad. Surprisingly, it wasn't. So in my eternal optimism, I went, I'm going to be okay. And then yesterday came around, and all of those symptoms came back to me with a rate of knots, and I felt terrible. Why am I telling you all of this? Well, because it feels good to share, so that if you've been going through something similar, then you know what the story is all about. But also, I figure, and there's a whole thing with the medical aid where they might be revising polygam for, in terms of treatment for CIDP. So I don't know what they're going to give me after that, if that thing goes through. But anyway, so far very grateful to the medical aid because they've paid for quite a lot of stuff. Oh, and then yesterday, on top of feeling crap, yes, that's it. I had to go for a gastroscopy and another skin biopsy, this time on my lower leg. So it looks like I'm growing colonies of beings there. And the nice part about that, he says, I think nice for me, maybe not so nice for other people. The nice part of that for me is gastroscopies these days get done under anesthetic, but it's not a deep anesthetic. It's a light sleep anesthetic. So the anesthetist is there, says, keep your eyes open for as long as you can. My competitive nature goes, watch how long I can keep my eyes open for. And the next second they're going, Mr. Watts, you can sit up now. And as soon as you feel better, go to the little recovery chair. And my fiance was waiting for me. And when I'm in like anything medical like that, my instinct is to get out. Okay, is to leave. Because those places are for sick people. So I managed to fumble into my shoes and stand up in what to my mind at that stage I was perfectly fine. And I went to go and find Helena, and we came home. The funny thing is the after effects of that particular, anesthetic, is that you think you've woken up and everything's cool, but actually you haven't. I can't remember how many times I asked what day it was, if they were finished, where we were going, what's happened. I think I showed the poor woman the dressing on my leg about 6 times. And each time it was the first time for me. And I lost a day in there as well. I must get her to describe what it is like one day. Living a day in the life of Helena living with David, who also gets like word salad and can't remember how to word or how to brain. That's quite interesting. But what we have decided, and Helena's been brilliant so far in helping me out with this, is obviously I've mentioned before I'm a diabetic as well, and since December, for love nor money have I been able to control my diabetes. It's been up and down like a yo-yo, and that doesn't help. Okay, that also complicates everything. Excuse me, it's coffee time. Damn fine cup of coffee. And this is a lot harder than it sounds. Okay, cutting out carbs, all carbs. We were told also maybe gluten free. maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but I haven't found anything that is carb-free, gluten-free together. So that could be a challenge. So anyway, all carbs, all forms of sugar. And I must say the guys have been amazing. I've had some really good food. And that is what I want to stick to. So part of this is what's happening. I've now got 6 months. And in those 6 months, I'm going to get a treatment every 4 weeks. But I've got to try and start figuring this stuff out as well. So the diet is the first thing that's going. So mornings look like this: a no carb protein shake, which is quite lekker. Afternoon lunch is a salad, and then dinner is something that involves a protein and possibly a salad or a vegetable, or 2 vegetables with no carbs at all. What happened, and I've joked about this before, is they made me stand on the scale when I went into hospital. Now, when this whole thing started, I was just over 100 kgs. Okay, I know I don't look it. I always tell people I'm big boned, but it then moved on during the course of last year to 110 kilograms. I could still justify that in my mind. The weird part is that with the stick arms and the stick legs, there's only one place those kilograms are going. Okay, so maybe I can audition to be the Michelin Man. But I weighed 118 kilograms. Okay, now if you think of the size of a 500-gram block of butter, okay, so 2 of those, okay, now you work out what size 18 kilograms of those are going to look like. That's on me. So we got to sort that out. So as soon as I'm up to it, we're going back to walking. I've been looking at this chair yoga thing to see if chair yoga is a thing. I'm assuming you need to use a chair without casters on. How do I know this? Well, I may have experimented one day when nobody was around and fell on my ass, but that's what I'm thinking. Meditation, I believe, is key to this whole thing. So at the moment, I meditate twice a day. I was going to say 3 times a day, but so normally it was like morning, in the afternoon, and then before bed at night. But before bed at night, I just pass out, so that one doesn't count anymore. And I'm at about 20 minutes now, and it's a mission, okay, to keep this little monkey mind of mine quiet and not thinking about things and focusing on my body healing and feeling better and all of those things. So the plan going forward is obviously the mindset, the way I eat, the meditation, and the exercise. And I also think it becomes too easy to sort of succumb to the disease or the diseases, and you don't want to do anything. Okay, I've never been a particularly sociable person. Don't think that I was, one that loved to go out and stuff like that. But when I do, I was the life and soul of the party. Okay, now the crowd gets here and I generally go to bed. So I want to work on changing that. And I think that's a mental thing, because I think interaction with people is good. So that's my plan going forward. And I'm figuring out and thinking about how I'm going to share this with you and tell you what works and what doesn't work. As I said, they're still checking for other possible what do you call it? Diseases like CIDP, autoimmune disease, says my prompt from the left there. Autoimmune diseases. It seems like they've settled on myasthenia gravis. This could change, but there's definitely something else going on. So essentially, I get stitches removed from my leg next week, Tuesday, and the doctor, the surgeon, will talk to me about those results. Hopefully before then I'll get more results. But I'm thinking about how am I going to share this kind of stuff with you? Because I can't promise you daily updates. And I'm certainly not going to stand up and show you fat belly and then show you how fat belly becomes less. But just wanted to give you an update today. Feel a whole lot better. I feel more positive. Managed to get a good night's sleep. Didn't rip my sleep apnea mask off. So that means I got some decent oxygen. I also want to explore some other therapies during these 6 months and see, is there a benefit? What is the benefit? Effectively, I'm turning myself into a human guinea pig. Some people would say that would be an improvement over me just being a pig. But, each to his own. So I'll let you know about that. And please do me a favor, if you are watching, if you have watched, it's awesome. I think I passed 10,000 subscribers. Surely there's a little thing we should do. But thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. To me, it means that this is something that needs to be talked about. It resonates, and we need to come together as a group of people that are either living with these kind of diseases or family of people like that. I've got first-hand experience of what a grumpy old fart I can be. So I'd be quite happy to share those and a little bit of support, a little bit of, hey there, Tiger, you can do it. All of those things can help a whole lot. So please like, subscribe, leave your comments, positive or negative. I've been in radio for many years, okay? Negative comments, also, I can deal with those. But from a very chilly morning here in Pretoria East, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. It means so much to me that you listen to this sometimes almost incomprehensible waffle, and that you are downloading and watching the videos. Look after yourselves. Take care. Be kind, okay? This world needs more human beings and less human doings. We need to be, okay? Be understanding. Be kind. Be loving. So until then, take care. I'll chat to you again soon.